Torch Queen.
You're doing girl on girl collabs.
Yes, because
we are switching this pot up. Okay, let's get
Blackjack in Alabama. My kids are out there. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. I'm really sorry, but they know.
They know who their mama is.
Before you start, your son was outside saying he edits your OnlyFans photos.
Oh yeah, he's like, so what do you want me to do with the bikini line here?
Yeah, so you don't have to apologize to them, I don't think.
No, but they don't see the girl shots. But I do go over that with them before I ever put them out. I was like, are you okay with this? Because it's like, if I were to do it in a movie, because I would make out with girls in movies all day long before I'd even make out with boys.
names but really I think the same
download
way,
for the plane,
the same way that you tell to have these conversations with your kids, I think you need to call me before you do it also. JB really wants to see these photos.
I
okay?
do.
I know.
Shit, I'm gonna have to get into a fucking Dropbox to get the real deal pictures.
Oh, we're getting into a Dropbox, huh?
Wow, breaking out the Dropbox.
Let's go in the vault. Okay.
I think I have to do them. They're really fucking racy, though, man.
They're
great.
They're really.
I'm
racy.
okay with.
I might not be naked in this one myself, but other people might be.
You feel uncomfortable over there, Zolo?
You feel good? Hold on. Oh shit!
It's just crazy to me that all these grown adults are in a room and nobody but the cameraman seen anything wrong with her 13-year-old son editing her OnlyFans pictures. When she says son, she really means her 13-year-old daughter, who's a biological female. And by the way, her 13-year-old biological female daughter went to her and said, "Mom, I'm being bullied because you do OnlyFans." And this is how she responded.
We pull up the shirt a little, teenagers, and can we do this? And then mom's gonna, hey, first of all, you look amazing.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care at all.
Which I love because she knows your why. She knows why.
Yes, but she's also so in her own space. She's such an artist that he will say, what about if my friends start stepping to me? And, sometimes I'll put him in his place and be like, do you like that? You like that jacket you just asked me to buy you? You like all the things that you want, that make you happy, all your little things? You like that new PC that you begged for Christmas? Because you wouldn't have that shit if mommy didn't show her ass. I mean, it's true.
And what does he say?
He's like, all right, okay, that's it. That shuts him up because he's a little greedy little bastard too sometimes. I mean, he's 12.
What is she trying to do, be an OnlyFans oligarch? How is this not seen as some type of abuse? Her 13-year-old daughter pretty much goes, Mom, I'm being abused. This is causing damage to my childhood that may be irreversible. And her mom basically goes, look, you see these nice things? It's nice to have nice things. Dial it down. Come join the family business. And she recruited her daughter for the family business, and we ain't slanging pizza here, people. We're slanging coochie. Don't nobody see nothing wrong with that.
I want a church girl, but my God, there's more hoes up in here now. Jesus Christ.
If you got more than 2 baby daddies, please don't vote, because you're going to pick the wrong man again.
Describe your ex in 3 words.
Whore.
That's 1.
That's 3. Are you letting him smash on the first date?
No, because I'm not that easy.
What do you mean you're not that easy?
I don't let them hit the first night.
What if it was an NBA player?
I mean,
you would let him.
A lifetime thing. Because I'm not that easy.
She literally getting her fucking... literally getting dug out. Raw.
Ooh! Oh, he's majestic. Hello. Alex Bodo right there. I would go for him. That's
so basically the 2 in the front, like how old are y'all?
That's insane. You can't do that.
Yo, I think I felt that here.
Provocative or modestly dressed woman?
Modestly, for sure. You don't want nobody out here dressing like a slut. If you trying to get a girl and what you get at home is what everybody else get in public, that's doing too much.
Do you draw a line, what they can wear, how tight it is?
Absolutely. I'll say, yo, I don't like how you dressing, and then I'll give her the choice like, okay, he doesn't like how I'm dressing, I'm gonna change it. And usually she does. It's like if she got respect for you, real respect for you, she'll be like, all right, my man thinks this makes me look like a hoe. I'm just gonna change myself.
Yeah, and when she tries to call you controlling or narcissistic or insecure, you can just say, I'm not controlling. You can leave however you want to leave, but if you leave dressed like that, you're going to be single. And I can hear people in the comments right now, when you're trying to do a serious relationship, you shouldn't play games. I don't think that's playing games at all. In fact, I think that's the refusal to play games. Boundaries without consequences are just suggestions. So if you're with somebody that values dressing provocatively over valuing your relationship, then you might as well go and let them go.
You ask God to remove all the fake shit out your life. You woke up bald-headed, no lashes, no eyebrows, and your purse was missing.
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying?
I'm not looking for a knight in shining armor.
She took your balls, nigga. She took your balls.
The man, I can take accountability and acknowledge that I'm imperfect. So for example, if a chick said to me like, hey Marquette, you know, I really like guys with hair. For sure, like that is better than being bald. Because if you deal with a woman and you say, hey, rate each other, I'm like, oh girl, you're a bad B, you're beautiful, you're all 10s. Whereas men, we have to live in reality. We have to acknowledge the reality about ourselves and the reality about others and figure out where we stand on the hierarchy. Because I can tell you this, if you ask this young lady, is she intelligent? She look and say yes. If you ask her, does she have manners? She'd say yes. But she's been interrupting and she's been rude and unruly this whole time, which is why I have to address it. Because too often guys will look at her and say, you know, she's attractive. I want to smash. And because they want to smash, they're about to start tap dancing and like being real nice. And because they've never told her the truth, she doesn't even know the truth. That's the point. You get lied to, then you get smashed and dashed. And at the end, you're wondering why. Because you have no sense of reality. And why does the lie work on you? Because you want to be lied to.
I popped the balloon because I don't think he's my type.
What about him is not your type?
Just physically, not my type.
What about him physically is not your type?
I like more of an athletic, like taller type of guy.
You can't choose his height, but do you work out there?
You know, here and there, I only got some time.
Why did you pop your balloon?
You said you don't work out. Like, you might be a cool person, but the fact that you don't work out, it's like one of the most basic things. Like, you know, people that work out have like a plan, they have discipline. You know what I mean? So I just feel like you don't have discipline, so you're gonna cheat.
Okay. Hold up.
I never cheated in my life.
He said he never cheated in his life, but you feel like if you don't work out, you don't have discipline, so you're going to cheat.
Exactly.
How do you make a man happy?
I feel like it's taking care of them, feeding them, and reassuring them. I feel like men don't get reassured enough.
Would you sign a prenup?
Yeah.
100%?
100%. I don't care.
If the guy was a multimillionaire.
I do not care about money. Marriage is for love.
Would you make OnlyFans?
Absolutely not.
Even if it made you a millionaire?
Nah, I have respect for myself.
Somebody need to hurry up and marry that woman. She got more green flags than the Brazilian parade.
Yeah, I'm a pass.
Yeah, it's a shocker that some dudes have standards for the potential mother of their kids. The dude at the end of that video is the type of dude that'll get involved with a woman like that and then be listening to Drake once he find out she cheated on him. Like, he didn't know what he signed up for. Even if it's your girlfriend, if she got her butt hanging out in public, it ain't only for you to see, trust me.
Met a guy at a bar. All went well until he told me he was a hired hitman and tried to kill me. That's hot as that is hot as him. You changed him. If he was a hitman and everything was going well at the bar and he flirted and then he was like, all right, I'll tell you. I was supposed to kill you and then he didn't. You changed him.
No, and let me just say this. He could get it any day of the week from me.
Shut your stupid ass up.
My ex is crazy, y'all. I've had her blocked on everything for weeks and yet she still manages to find ways to contact me. Bro, this is what I'm talking about. Look, she's calling me on my microwave. How is that even possible? I didn't even know microwaves could do. How is she doing that? That's actually impressive. You go, girl.
I want to know, why do women find it disrespectful when a man asks for a DNA test?
I don't
Right.
know.
Why is that
I don't
disrespectful?
know. You about to hit me with the 1 point on a pick me because I don't know. I really don't
Why
get
is
it.
that disrespectful?
I really don't get it. I think it should be a requirement because I feel bad for men that are raising children and don't know that's not their kid.
Are you a trip?
Trip.
There's two of us. So that means you gotta take care of both of us.
Y'all gotta take care of me.
It could be vice versa, but are you gonna take care of us?
What y'all gonna do for me is the question.
We can do a lot. We trick back.
I'm saying y'all gotta trick first though.
Why? Aren't you supposed to be the man? Aren't you supposed to show? The man built for wars and shit. You can't trick first?
Mm-mm.
What do you wanna do? We out.
For sure. Damn! Get up out of here. You tricking who?
Your stepdad's wife, super bad.
Walk in the house, she's wearing something skimpy. She comes on to you.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Dogging that bitch.
You're dogging stepdad's wife?
Dogging stepdad's wife all the way.
Really?
All the way.
Did it scare you or did it hurt you? The drop-in was amazing, you know that, right? Sometimes we just slip out on the ramp.
What if I fall again? Well, I'm kind of scared and I really want to do it.
Sometimes it's scary doing hard things, and it's totally up to you whether you want to give it a go right now.
Well, I'm scared that I'm going to fall.
We can skip this. You don't have to do this.
I want to. Whoa, it's
okay.
Well, okay. Catch. Okay, so I'll do it. 1, 2, 3.
That was a great job doing that after falling. It's really brave. And
Is my foot okay back
yeah,
there?
it looks amazing. And then just lean forward and stomp and bend your knees. And I'll be here in case you fall.
You promise you'll catch me?
So do your thing, and I will be here the whole process. Here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here.
Whoa.
Whoa.
1, 2, 3. Slam.
I want to say that I think that's really amazing that after that fall, you've gotten up and you've worked through that fear, and you're dropping in again.
1, 2, slam.
Whee! Wow, you're cruising that ramp. Here, let's do the next one. Boom, boom, boom. I am stoked for you. That's really cool that you did that.
There was a man named Laszlo Polgar that had a theory that if raised correctly, humans could be conditioned into greatness. Laszlo met up with a school teacher that believed in his theory, so they decided to start a family so they can raise their kids towards greatness. The goal that they decided to aim towards was being great at chess. Now, Laszlo was never a great chess player, but the reason they chose chess is because it's not objective. Like, if they chose something like painting, everybody would still be arguing whether the kids were great painters, but chess, it actually has an ELO, it has a rating system, so it's more objective. Long story short, he ended up having 3 daughters. His first daughter, Susan, became a world champion chess player at 12 years old, and then 2 years later, she became the top-rated female player in the world at 14 years old. Shortly after that, Susan became the first female grandmaster ever. The second daughter, Sophia, her highest accomplishment was the Sack of Rome, which is essentially beating 8 grandmasters in a row. The youngest daughter, Judith, became the youngest grandmaster ever, male or female. She became a grandmaster at 15 years old. Not only that, but to my knowledge, she's the best female player in the world currently and has been that way for over a decade. Laszlo Polgar proved his theory to be right. He was a novice chess player that raised 3 chess grandmasters. Basically what I'm trying to say, and the moral of the story is, these little fuckers can achieve a little bit more if we just steer them towards greatness and stop babying them.
With this very disturbing situation, habit of online influencers, people like this man, Andrew Tate, could be radicalizing young men and boys into hating women. It's the police that are saying this is the case.
Well, it comes after violence against women rose by 40% in the past 5 years, and what experts are warning is a national emergency.
We want to speak now to Marilyn Hawes. And Marilyn, you are the founder and chief executive of Freedom from Abuse. And Ellie and I were just talking during the break. The thing that really frightens me about me on this is that the idea that misogyny exists and whatever is very disturbing, but I would look upon this and I'd say, well, surely it can't be that bad. It's not out there because I don't see it in my life or men around me. But I am now increasingly aware that this is a very real thing, and the fact that it is a real thing, that it's encouraged or tolerated by other parents and siblings and goodness knows what. How disturbed are you by it all?
It's massive, Eamon. It really is, and it has been for a long time. So, for some time now, the police have been saying this is as bad as radicalisation. Andrew Tate is the most vile human being, and his mantra has fed in to pornography, right? So his hatred and humiliation of women, and his vile bullying sex acts is right in there in the core of pornography. Now, the boys, you've got children of 7 years old watching pornography on their phones. So there's one issue. Why have young children got these smartphones, iPhones? Why are they not being monitored?
Now, look, I'm not here to defend Andrew Tate, and I'm not here to defend all of Andrew Tate's beliefs because I don't know all of Andrew Tate's beliefs. But just from what I do see of Andrew Tate, I do know that Andrew Tate does not promote pornography. And even if he did promote pornography, I don't understand how they're drawing the correlation between beating your meat and beating a woman. I don't understand how they drawing the correlation between those two things. What's interesting is Andrew Tate tells his audience that he's under attack by the Matrix, and broadcasts like this just validates everything that he's saying. So she wants us to believe that Andrew Tate is the most vile human being on the planet. She knows this for a fact. Forget about Jeffrey Epstein's list. Forget about the fact that we haven't dealt with any of those powerful people that like to deal with children. We know who they are, but we're not going to do anything about that. Forget about all the female teachers in America that are coming out or getting exposed for diddling with young men in the school system. Forget about that. Andrew Tate is the most vile human being on the planet. She knows this for a fact, but she hasn't even done the surface level research enough to know that Andrew Tate does not promote pornography. Sounds like you on some hating shit. You sound like a hater. You sound like you have a personal vendetta against Andrew Tate and you willing to use any situation to try to get rid of Andrew Tate or to blame Andrew Tate so that you can get rid of him for the sake of fulfilling your own vendetta. It doesn't sound like you care about young men at all, because the only time people like this seem to care about young men is if they feel like young men are affecting young women. Right now, they're claiming a state of emergency because of a rise in violent crimes by 40%. What about the rise of men committing violence against themselves? Why isn't that a state of emergency, since you care about young men so much? Since this isn't just about Andrew Tate, it's about young men, why aren't we talking about the fact that from 18 to 40, the number one reason a young man will lose his life is him taking it himself because of a sense of hopelessness? Why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we talking about the fact that, or the feminists that do promote pornography on all of these social media websites openly? Nobody's talking about that, but they do care about young men, of course, right? How are these 7-year-olds getting access to pornography? It must be Andrew Tate. Forget about the fact that we gave open license to any woman between the age of 18 and 60 to slang coochie online. That has nothing to do with it. It's Andrew Tate, of course.
Phones, why are they not being monitored? Why are they watching pornography? You go into schools, I go into schools, I see a lot of it. And when I'm called into schools, even with 10 and 11-year-old boys, because of the way they're treating young girls. So I try not to mention the name Andrew Tate. I say there's an influencer who is a very bad influence. Why do you watch him? And that's not real life.
Well, there's so much there to get through, but I want to ask you to, it's all right, me talking about this. I'm a man. I'm not experiencing this. Are you two, as women, Marilyn, you and obviously Ellie, I'd like to ask you, are you aware of being treated differently or being hated or disliked because you are simply a woman by some men?
I haven't experienced being hated, but I've experienced being ignored because I'm a woman. Mm-hmm. In some settings, yes. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this for long, but she doesn't understand masculine hierarchy and how men operate. And this is one of the issues with women in the workforce. Women operate on a more egalitarian plane, meaning everybody gets a voice. Men work in hierarchies, and we tend to devote who's at the top of the hierarchy based on merit. So if you're the most experienced person, you get the loudest voice in the room and people care about what you talk about. When you're the least experienced person, you shut up and you eat your pile of shit. I was one of the best players. When I joined the USA rugby team, I was scoring more than anybody. But at the end of the day, I still had to carry the water bottles to practice. Why? Because I'm a scrub. You shut up, you eat your pile of shit until you get more experience, like the veterans. And then you get certain privileges, like talking. But her being an anchor on this news show and then claiming that she was facing some type of discrimination is just silly to me. That's just how masculine hierarchies work. When you're not experienced, you shut up. When you are experienced, you get to be the anchor on the news channel. That's how it works. So oftentimes women will think that the reason they have to eat their pile of shit when they're first starting is because they're a woman, when really it's just because you don't know anything. And men don't operate egalitarian. Everybody doesn't get a voice. When you don't know anything, you shut up.
And a bit more wrinkly, so I don't suffer from that. But through my work, I see it. And the lack of respect with youngsters today and people generally has gone. So the schools will bang on about consent. But if I don't respect you, I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. And they don't put respect for each other, respect for their education, respect for their lives. It's not there. It just is not there. And we need dads to stand up. And even in schools, what is it to be a man? It isn't being a bullying sexual brute. That's not being a man. That's an abject coward. You know,
but surely
what is
if you're a man and there are women in your life, and we all will have had a mother, and you know, and if you have sisters or you have daughters, surely that has got to change the way you would think and make you strong in defending women.
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? I mean, I always did with my children. I have 3 boys and a girl, and I used to always be saying, you don't treat your sister or any woman like that. There's so many teenage girls whose brothers are into this Andrew Tate man and the pornography, etc., that they actually say to their parents, well, I don't like so-and-so being like this. Where's the parenting gone? If people would just stop being woke and come out and tell it like it is, you might get somewhere.
Where have the phones gone? Where's the technology gone? You talk about who's responsible. Why aren't these tech companies, you know, if there is a phone destined for children, we can't exclude all of them from it, but we could exclude 70% of them from it. If phones are designed for children, they have children-appropriate content on it. Surely no access to porn.
Well, the online safety bill, well, they know how to get in it, and they'll also watch it through an older child or older brother, you see. So, I mean, they're saying 11-year-old boys, 1 in 4 of them, 10 and 11-year-old boys, are watching porn, right? 1 in 4. So do the maths. But the online safety bill, I mean, it's just not strong enough. I mean, if stuff can be posted out there like Tate's absolute trash, then why can't it be taken down? They're saying they can take down messages and stuff that's harming children. Well, why don't they just wipe the whole of the internet clean of Andrew Tate? Why don't they? I always said it was too weak. I always said the online safety bill was too weak. And DCC Maggie Blythe has said the same thing, but no one does anything about it. I mean, I've been banging on about Andrew Tate and misogyny towards women for ages, but nobody does anything. You know, is Keir Starmer going to do anything different? You know, but parents need to, I know I keep on saying about parents, but you buy the phones and all those devices, and that's where this trash comes through. It comes through. Well, why are children up in their bedrooms with their phones and their devices? Get it downstairs. See what they're watching. Okay. Why do kids need to take a phone into school? They don't need it when they're at school. I despair. I really worry where this is all going, because it is an epidemic.
Let's change it. Let's all do our bit and do our thing and have zero tolerance of all of this.
Absolutely. Marilyn, we're out of time, I'm afraid.
Right.
But thank you so much.
If Keir Starmer or anybody else's child was raped, assaulted, or anything like that through anything that's on the internet, you watch it would come down. If it affected any of those MPs, something would be done. But I've been in this industry for 23 years. I've seen no real change to protect and prevent harm to young girls and boys, even teenagers in this country. I haven't seen it across any you know, whatever political party. No one wants to know. It's the elephant in the room, and someone's got to shoot that elephant.
Now, we got to talk about this because they kind of confused me at the end there. I don't understand how the conversation went from young women being victims of violent crimes, which is what this is supposed to be about, to young men watching more adult content. And I don't understand how they bridge that gap by using Andrew Tate when Andrew Tate doesn't promote for his audience or other young men to watch adult content. I do believe that those are two separate issues, but when it comes to the issue of young women being more likely now than ever before to be victims of violent crimes, that is a direct consequence of feminism. And let me explain to you how. Feminism is about young women having more rights and freedoms than ever. But what they don't tell you is you can't have freedom and safety. If you want to be able to do whatever you want and have the freedom to do whatever you want, that means it's going to be more risky for you. So you sacrifice some of your safety. If you want safety, that means you have to be very disciplined in where you go and what you do. And that means you can't have as much freedom. So you can't have freedom and safety. That's just a pipe dream. It's not going to ever happen. So I think that young women being more victims of violent crimes is a direct consequence of what we tell young women to do with their lives. We tell them and encourage them as a way to live, as a way to find yourself, to go into these risky environments. And then we want to act surprised as a culture when more of them end up victims of violent circumstances. It's very interesting.